How did you hear that Mills had died?
So, I was in my office that morning.
It was a weekday, Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. I had seen him the Saturday, which was his birthday, 21st. I had woken up, gone to see him by 6 a.m. And his son Kofi came to join us. We had some interesting discussion about issues. And so that's me crying there. And that was Saturday. Sunday, there was church service. Monday, the medics said he wasn't seeing anybody, which is... So Tuesday morning, I was in my office, actually, working on some speech that he was supposed to deliver at a public function. Because I used to write all his speeches. Name them. State of the Nation.
Was he traveling on Tuesday?
Well, I got to know. I didn't know before, but I got to know later, yes, that actually he was going to leave for Nigeria that Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So I was in my office when a security man came banging on my door. Akenumu. They've taken the old man away. They're taking the old man. I said, Akele Tengbe. Charlie, I will lekete.
Wole from where?
So, apparently he was carried, stretchered.
From where?
From his room.
A castle.
At the castle. Into the
Room
ambulance.
Or office?
No, not from the office. The residence.
The residence. And put in what kind of car?
Of course, that's that one in an ambulance.
With motorcade was there?
Motorcade, medic. So that's, even at the point they said I carried him in the boot of my vehicle.
Okay, so the motorcade drove him to 37?
Yeah, they drove him to 37.
In a normal presidential...
Oh, yeah, that one...
So those stories are not true?
They are not true.
Thank you.
They are not
Very
true.
happy to
No,
hear
they are not true. I mean, a sitting president, definitely there will be motorcade. The ADC joined...
So he didn't come to the office at all that day?
No, he didn't come to the office at all that day.
Was at a residence?
It was a residence.
Fell
yeah. And of course, the stories abound. His son says he had lunch with him. A sister is supposed to have gone there. All those other stories, that is their story.
You didn't see anything?
No, I didn't.
So you were in your office?
I was in my office.
Okay.
And so now, we went to 37. And he was declared officially dead around...
At 2 o'clock?
Yeah, 1:32 or thereabout.
What happened thereafter?
Well, I remember when I arrived. Because the motorcade had left.
Is that you and Alote Jacobs?
That's me and Alote Jacobs, yes.
Wow.
We finished mourning and finished crying like this. And they say we have no right to keep the man's legacy alive. And they even laugh at us those days. That, yes, their father is dead and gone. We'll see how they will survive in Ghana. And we are surviving and it's paining them.
So,
yeah.
What happened
so
hours after?
when I got to 37, because like I'm saying, the motorcade left. The security man came to inform me. So I now had to rush to 37. So I got there. And when I got there, of course, I saw Colonel Lawson.
He was with him?
Yeah. The ADC went with him.
Yeah.
But his office, I mean...
they're right there. Yeah.
So I'm telling you that as much as I was close to the president, I had access to his bedroom. I would sit on his bed. He would be bathing, but he would draw the blinds. We can have a conversation. When we got to the office setting, Paul... he made sure that
everybody kept their place.
That kept their place.
So when you got to 37, what happened?
So I got to 37, and once I arrived, I was ushered into the ICU, the intensive care unit. So the story that he went to a maternity ward is also not true. Children's ward is not true. He went to the ICU, and he had commissioned the ICU maybe 2-3 months before. That. Okay. And it was a double commissioning he did when he went to 37 at the time. The ICU and the refurbished mortuary.
Oh, wow.
And as fate will have it.
That's interesting.
As fate will have it.
From the ICU, he went to the mortuary.
He went to the mortuary. Oye papa, oye fa.
So, when you were leaving 37...
So when I went to 37, I was ushered into the ICU. And then there was the lifeless body of the president. They removed the cloth.
The white.
And so they up to maybe the navel.
So you saw his face?
I saw his face. I saw his upper body. And as I stood there watching the lifeless body of the president, I'm not too sure how I got out of the ICU because, you know...
You don't know how you got out of the ICU?
I don't know how I got out of the ICU.
They carried you?
I don't know.
Where did you end up?
So later on, I realized that we were in a room and they had brought a psychologist to come and work on us, a few of us. Oh, myself and Colonel Lawson was part of it. A few close aides. I don't remember any of the brothers being in that close meeting.
Was the Reverend Minister there?
Amudako. It's possible.
Yeah.
And this psychologist came. Then the lead physician, who also came and said that, gentlemen, you know that the president is there, don't you? Yeah, it's good to cry, it's good to break down, it's good to weep. But let's allow him to go and rest. And that he had defied medical science for 8 years.
Oh, 8 years.
That he had defied medical science for 8 years. Now, Paul, and I want to believe that the medical doctor was telling us the truth. A man who defied medical science for 8 years to take this party from opposition into power. Because I remember in those quiet moments when the MPP was laughing at him and calling him a failure because he had lost 2004 was contentious. But instead of moving us onto the streets in 2004, that's when he said he will never become president on the drop of anybody's blood. And that if Kufuor says he's won the election, let him have it. Or if it is God's will, Ghanaians will give me the presidency in 4 years' time. Very prophetic.
He said that in 2004.
In 2004. This was at Koku Hill. And on other platforms. But I remember Koku Hill 1. He had to convince, because some of us wanted him to convince us as to why he will not hit the streets. And he said, no way. If I hit the streets, you people will die. Koku, I need you for the next election. I'm not going to kill you. Stay alive and let's win this election. In 2008. That was what gingered us into that 2008 election. Because this man was just leading us with conviction. But
were you support?